As the midterms approach, election officials are strengthening security to protect poll workers. The New York Times reports that fences, cameras, and plexiglass are now at polling places in some states. Violent threats against election workers that exploded during the 2020 election have become commonplace. Election officials told the Times the harassment is taking a significant mental toll. Neil Vigdor, the author of that article, joins us now. He covers politics with a focus on democracy for the New York Times. So, Neil, how have security risks changed, and do authorities have any explanation about what led to this?
Hi, Caitlin. Good to be with you. Yes, certainly after the 2020 election, you had, millions of people, refusing to accept the results of the election. That has led to a rise of misinformation, harassment, and the Justice Department actually last year created a task force that investigates and prosecutes people who threaten or try to intimidate election officials. And so far, I think there have been something like 6 or 7 cases that have been made public for that task force. And, you have a lot of these election deniers, partisan audits that have created this kind of cauldron of ill will towards election officials around the country, and they're really under duress and are taking a lot of precautions, and emotionally it's very trying for them.
Yeah, one of the election officials that you spoke to in Colorado, Jenna Griswold, who's the Secretary of State there, kind of described the lengths that she had to go through to get some security. So kind of explain what has to happen in order for an elected official to be given security. What does it look like? And that seems like something that would affect that official's personal life.
Well, that's one of the things, Caitlin, is that a lot of these secretaries of state, they don't have a full-time security detail the way a governor or a lieutenant governor would. So in Colorado, Jenna Griswold, she's a Democrat. She's sparred with a lot of county officials who are Republicans in terms of access to voting machines, some of these partisan audits. And so she has received a lot of threats on social media. She was only getting partial coverage through the Colorado State Patrol. So she went out after February of this year, I believe, and resorted to hiring private security. I think the annual cost is something maybe like $85,000. And a lot of these officials, don't have the resources or the manpower to provide the kind of coverage that they unfortunately need.
That is a lot of money. I mean, this issue of paying for security, do you know which agencies are tasked with doing it and how exactly it's getting funded?
Well, the Election Assistance Commission, which is a federal agency, actually issued guidance earlier this year to state and local officials that they could use federal election grant money through the Help America Vote Act on actual security and in combating misinformation. Some folks are using state funds, some are using municipal funds, but there is that authorization there for states and counties to be using the federal grants.
And, Neil, these threats are coming at a time when you have had a number of state legislatures essentially undermining the authority of election officials and in some cases making them criminally or financially liable for any possible errors made on their watch, even if it's not their fault. Are towns and cities having trouble finding people who want these kinds of jobs? I know a lot of these secretaries of state actually have to run for office, but some of the rank and file election workers who are also getting threats. Is there a problem filling these positions?
There definitely is, and one of the kind of fascinating dynamics is that it's not just Democratic election officials that are under duress. There
Mm.
are Republicans as well. Recently, all three election officials in Gillespie County, Texas, which is in the hill country of Texas, a county that Donald Trump won by 59 percentage points. All three of them recently quit,
Mm.
saying that they were getting death threats and stalked, dealing with all kinds of misinformation. And if you look in Antrim County, Michigan, that's another spot where, again, Republican area, the clerk there, longtime Republican clerk. There was a tabulation error after the 2020 election, and she was vilified by President Trump's supporters. And you look, and this year she's just decided she's not running for re-election.
It's unfortunate for our democracy because a lot of these people are volunteers, regular
Yes.
people just trying to do their jobs and getting these threats. Neil, Vigdor, thank you so much for your time and your reporting. It's really important and something that we'll be following as we head into the midterms. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me on.